This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome. I am Clay Emo. I am Canuck Clay, and this is Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm now starting about 20 minutes late because I was 15 minutes late originally, and then I had a bit of audio trouble. So now this is the show that we're going to go with. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking with me. I know that you are very loyal because you are still with me after that 20 minutes of tech issues. So it just proves to you that I still haven't worked out all the kinks. And as I saw in the comments, yes, I think sometimes I do need Parker to help me out. So first and foremost, moderators, thank you for being here. You know what you need to do. Members, thank you for your support. And speaking of members, Gail and I, my lovely wife, we actually had a wonderful dinner with Just Incredible and C Edits tonight. We ate at Monkey Dime Brewing, one of my sponsors. We had a wonderful chance to catch up. So Just Incredible and C Edits, if you're watching right now, thank you for the wonderful time and company today. To all of you, no matter where you're watching from, I know you just heard this 5 minutes ago, but whether you're from Steveston and Richmond, in the Lower Mainland city, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know, especially tonight, I don't take you for granted after that horrible start. Thank you. Like this video. Probably some of you probably want to dislike it now, but like this video, become a member, subscribe for sure, do all of those good things, but know how much I appreciate you and know how much I do not take you for granted. I am learning as we go. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I've never said I am. So no matter if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for your support. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, thank you for your support as well. I'm going to do the first 10 to 15 minutes myself, smorgasbord of topics, and then I'll throw it over to you to answer some of your questions. And the cue to do that will be when I do my mid-show sponsorship read. As well, because today is Sunday, that means today is the extended show, not because I started late, but also because I will close off the podcast after about half an hour, 35 minutes, and then we will stay around, hang around to play our favorite games and do a bit more of Ask Me Anything, but probably just go straight to the games tonight. So once again, thanks to all you for being here. I want to show you that I am vulnerable. I make mistakes, and that was not my finest moment for sure. But we are together, and I'm so happy that we can chat about the Vancouver Canucks. I'll talk about the Vancouver Canucks in a second. I want to talk about a couple of non-Canucks related things. Or actually, they're all Canucks related things, except for the first one. So Gail and I were in Seattle for the weekend. That's why I didn't vlog yesterday. I did a quick Ask Me Anything from my hotel room this morning. Saw a concert last night, a worship concert, which was really good. Then did some shopping on the way back. So if you saw my patented Costco glide, the video from there set to Billie Jean of Michael Jackson, then you know that I was trying to find out ways to entertain myself at Costco while Gail was loading up the cart. You know how it goes. Gail loads up the cart, and I'm the one who's got to push it around for an hour. And then we got back over the border, got home by 5:30, got changed, went to church for 6:30, then got home, got changed, had 2 minutes, then got out to Monkey Nine to see Just Incredible and see that. Got home, and I actually got home with 10 minutes to spare. And I was fine. I was ready to go. I was so ready to go. And then, so embarrassing point number one is I couldn't see my camera. I couldn't see myself on my screen. And that's why I delayed for the first time, for the first 15 minutes. My friends, the reason why I couldn't see myself on the screen is because I had a black overlay over top that I didn't know that was on. So it wasn't like my camera was broken. It was because I could not see it was because the overlay was taking precedence. So that was the first error. So then once I figured that out, it took me a few minutes. Then I tried to start, and then I didn't have the microphone. I don't think the microphone was even, I don't even know what happened actually. So thank you for your patience. And as Carol said, indeed, and I appreciate this, Carol actually said, don't worry because we all make mistakes. And yes, I make a lot of them. So thank you. And I can't put it up on my screen for something. Oh, there it is. So Shannon says, don't worry. No one is perfect. I know that very well. Thank you. So Shannon said, no one is perfect. If people were perfect, then the world would be boring. I agree. And then Carol also used a remember chat. Say, don't worry about never making a mistake. We all make mistakes and we all love you. Thank you, Carol. I love you as well. And then I missed it earlier, but I know Lucas donated $2 to tell me that my audio was bad. So Lucas, thank you for that donation as well. I almost said the transition word that I was trying not to say, although I said it a lot earlier when I was trying to figure out what was happening. So Gail and I had a wonderful weekend. That's for sure. Then we got to have finish it off with dinner, like I said, with Just Incredible and Siedet. That was a lot of fun as well. And now I am here with you. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to talk a little bit about the poll question that I put up, talk a little bit about Young Stars, talk a little bit about my Canucks tickets, and finally talk a little bit about what I'm doing tomorrow. So I put a poll up and I said, who should play on the right side? And then I'm just looking at the poll right now. We're going to end it. And the final results, Carol says, Carol's the best. Thank you for the donation, Carol. $10 says, Clay, have a Pepsi on me and say hi to Gail for me. I will do both of those things for sure. Let's give Carol some love in the chat for sure. Who should play on the right side? 61% of you said Hughes. 26% of you saying OEL. And 12% of you saying neither of them. I brought that up because I've been saying Hughes has the ability to play on the right side because he's such a good skater. But then in my vlog today, as part of my Ask Me Anything, you may have seen that if you saw the video, I talked about why OEL might be better on the right side instead of Hughes. And it was really two reasons. Number one, if Hughes is so dominant on the left, do you want to take away from your best defenseman? And maybe, sure, he can still handle himself on the right, but maybe you don't want to take away from your strongest asset on the left side. And the other thing is, when you think about how OEL and Hughes plays, I would say that OEL has a harder shot, especially a harder slap shot on one-timer. So if you think of both guys on the being left-handed, but you put OEL on the right side, if you think OEL is a stronger one-timer than Hughes, then maybe you try OEL on the right and then Hughes on the left so Hughes can set him up on the right side. Regardless, I actually think we're going to see a bit of both. I think we're going to see a bit of experimentation during the preseason games, and maybe even during the middle of a game, you'll see guys start to switch sides and everything. I'm seeing a lot of, Tyler saying, I don't want to mess up Quinn Hughes' development on the left side. That's fine. And by the way, I want to acknowledge Adam says, Young Stars having fun. Baines looks strong. Yes, I'll talk about this in a second. Love your new format. Going to try to get to the streams more, or maybe you're going to stream more. That's awesome, Adam, regardless of what it is. And yes, I will have to edit out that start because that was absolutely horrible. I will get to more of your comments in a second, but I want to stay on track because A, I started late, and B, I want to make sure I can get through what I need to get through. But thank you to everyone chatting, donating, using member messages, whatever it's called. So I appreciate all of you very much. So that's one thought is let's keep our eyes on this battle. It's not even a battle of who gets to or who has to play the right side if indeed the Canucks are planning to try both Quinn Hughes or Oliver Ekman-Larsson on the right side. Let's talk about this game. The Canucks beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-1. I was in Seattle, so I did not watch the game, but I watched the highlights and I saw the box score. And man, Klimovich and Nielsen look really good together. They do. I know they combined together on the second and third goals. One of them was Klimovich and Nielsen. That was a beautiful pass, by the way. The other one was Nielsen to Klimovich. And then we had a guy named Mark Gatcomb scoring the other two goals. So Ty Young only lets in one goal. This is 2 days after Artur Silas got a shutout against the Calgary Flames. That was a 3-0 game. So the Canucks have outscored their opponent 7-1 in the Young Stars tourney. And yes, as someone said, Archie Baines looks really good. Oman looks pretty good. Linus Karlsson looked better, I think, on Friday than he did today. Today was about Klimovich. Of course, the two goalies have looked good. So overall, it's only Young Stars, But still, we're still playing against young players and prospects from other teams that we're going to be playing against for years and years to come. So I don't think anyone's going to complain about a 2-0 start. Like Lucas said, thank you for the donation, Lucas. Lucas says, good start for the Canucks and the Young Stars. 2-0, baby. Or that's 2-0, baby. Or 2-0, baby. I'm sure it's not that third one. Thank you, Lucas, for the donation. And yes, a wonderful start for the Canucks as well. And yeah, if they beat Edmonton tomorrow, then they wind up going 3-0. And that's good. That means the Canucks are undefeated going into preseason. A couple more things, and then I will turn it over to all of you. I've been emailing out our ticket list. Many of you have asked for it. So once again, if you are interested in the tickets that we have 2 seats in section 319, and we have 4 seats in section 115. As you can imagine, the tickets in 115 are a little bit more expensive than the seats in 319, but I will happily email you the list of games. So if you send me, and okay, now I figured out what was wrong. That okay was okay because in trying to, I think I had my keyboard plugged in instead of my microphone. I think that was the issue. But now I have both plugged in and I can type. If you want me to send you our ticket list, send me an email, canuckclay@gmail.com. canuckclay@gmail.com. You have to obviously put the @ there. You can't, don't type in the word @ because then it won't send it anywhere. But I do that so I don't get, I don't know if a spam bot or spam reader will pick it up. So canuckclay@gmail.com, and then I will send you our ticket list for sure. Okay, and if anyone who sent me an email today, I will get to it before I go to bed tonight. Crazy though, I have a lot to do tonight, both for church and for work, because tomorrow I will be volunteering once again at the Jake Milford Canucks Charity Golf Tournament. So I'm very excited. The last 2 years, there haven't been any Canucks players because of COVID. I think actually 2020, they canceled it. And 2021, there were no Canucks players. It was media members and alumni. But all the Canucks players will be at the Jake Milford tomorrow. I will be volunteering, as I always do. And this will be the last thing before I turn it over to all of you. But I'm really excited because 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, my son Sean got to caddy for Bo Horvat. So Horvat was only a rookie, a 19-year-old rookie. Sean was only 14 years old. So yes, this was 7 years ago, actually, in 2015, I think. And there was Sean driving the future captain of the Canucks around in a golf cart. So that was pretty cool. So that was our first experience with the Jake Milford tournament. Then the very next year, I've been volunteering ever since. So I think I volunteered 16, 17, 18, 19. There wasn't one in 20. And then I helped yesterday. I helped last year as well. So tomorrow, I know my job for the first part of the day is I unload the Canucks, the golfers' cars. I take their golf clubs. I put a name tag on it, and then I go stick it on the back of a golf cart. And then I say, hi, nice to see you, blah, blah, blah. And then, obviously we're not taking pictures. We're not taking no selfies, no autographs, because we're there to volunteer. We're there to serve. And that's my job for the first part of the day. Then on the second part of the day, I think that I am manning a hole where people can donate money and shoot a golf cannon. Oh, I don't do it, but the guy who knows how to do it does it. This big air compression cannon, like that they use to shoot t-shirts in the air, and then it shoots a golf ball 250 yards. So basically you can pay $20 and let this air cannon shoot this golf ball for you. So you're paying for, you're doing charity, and then you also get a drive that's going to go straight down the fairway instead of spraying to the left or to the right. So I can't wait. It's a wonderful chance. I do get to see all the players. I've had chats with everyone from Hughes to Pedersen to JT Miller to Nikolai Goldobin, Brandon Sutter, Jay Beagle. In fact, some of my Antoine Roussel has actually been the one that I've talked to the most at these tournaments back-to-back years. The second year, he actually recognized me from the year prior. But again, my job is to serve. My job isn't to be a fanboy, to talk to them about I'm not, and I don't do this anyway. I'm not a big selfie guy. You guys know that. I'm not even a big autograph guy. But if I have a chance to wish the Canucks players luck for this season or whatever it may be, then I will do so. So I have to be out in Surrey by 7 a.m. And then, so I have to leave the house by about 6:15, which is fine. But then I have about an hour and a half of work to do after the stream. So today was probably the wrong night to start late and to have technical issues, but doesn't matter. I'm here with you, and that's the most important thing for right now. Let's do the sponsor read, and then I'll get to your questions. So I want to thank all the sponsors of this show. First and foremost, my lead sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs, and happy and excited to partner with Jason on the season tickets down in the Lower Bowl. Thank you to Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. You can sign up now for a free 7-day trial with Coach Patrick. Use the link that you see on the screen, performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay. To Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork, to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor, and to Vessi Shoes as well. Use the code CanuckClay for a $15 discount off any pair of shoes that you buy. Now, that marks the halfway point. Let's get to your questions. Let me just get to it on my screen here. Jason says, as long as you aren't saying stuff when you were greeting them in the tunnel. Jason is referring to this horrible video of when I was in the tunnel, fist bumping all the players, as you guys know the story, as it was the Sedin's final home game. And I remember when Bo walked by, I went, Bo, 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 Bo. I was so excited. Then you should be saying, let's go, or have a great game. Let's go, guys. Come on. Yeah. But I said that then when Troy walked by, I said, Richmond, when Troy Stetcher. So I turned into a blubbering idiot, but what else is new? Fangirl, why do you think Sportsnet 650 has the Young Stars game on top of online streaming, but the Canucks do not have the radio rights? Is 650 testing the waters? That's a good point. Or maybe they're still working on a handshake agreement. Maybe, I don't think it's an audition of any sort. They know what Sportsnet 650 can do. Perhaps they're not ready to make any final decisions, so they're going with status quo to make sure that the games get out there. That's a great question, Fangirl. One I do not have the answer to. Jasper and Clay, you were talking about what you would change about the Canucks history, and you said you would change the 21 playoffs in your Ask Me Anything. Yes, indeed. I obviously would want the Canucks to win. How did you get out of the Riot? Great question, Jasper. I stayed in the arena for about an hour. My phone was literally blowing up. Not literally, figuratively blowing up. People were texting me, Clay, be careful, they're starting a riot. So I actually waited for about 45 minutes to an hour, then went outside. And as I came down Georgia Street, Dunsmuir, whatever, I could see everything happening by the post office. So thankfully, my car, where I was parked at my office, was closer to BC Place. It was actually at Cambie and Robson. So I actually didn't even venture into Burrard, Granville, Seymour, all those streets. I didn't have to go that far. Thankfully, I escaped out of downtown by going over the Cambie Street Bridge. So thankfully, I was not part of the riot. Lindsay says, per himself, it's pronounced Klimovich. Klimovich, not Klimovich. Klimovich, thank you. Like Ovechkin and Podkolzin. Klimovich. Thank you, Lindsay. I will work on that. Pronunciation is not my strong point. Klimovich. Zal, how many pillows did you buy at Costco? 2 2-packs. Tristan, the Instagram is not Clayton Emo now. It is Fun Faithful Fam is the name. Fun Faithful Fam, and not my full name anymore, Tristan. Jasker, and rumors are Canes are still trying to trade Ethan Bear. Yes, I would be fine with that. Still young. I think he's 25 years old. I would be open to that on our right side. Gives us a bit of a different look. Mr. Joker, I saw Brogan Rafferty play, and he simply was not that good. He didn't stand out, and you had a lot of players like that. DSS, all the players on the Canucks roster are going to play this season, old and young guys. That's so tough to say. I think we'll have a better idea coming out of training camp who earns spots. Ellie Williams, who's one of the Kings during a Q&A, said that autograph hounds in Canada will wait in the snow and cold outside the team's hotel. Have you seen that? I've seen it outside of Rogers Arena. I've seen it a little bit outside the hotel, but yes, it's true. The autograph seekers here are quite committed. Absolutely. Carol, the kids that are playing the Young Stars, how long will it take for them to play for the Canucks? And who do you think will get to play? I think Klimovich will play on the team. I think Linus Karlsson has an outside shot in about a year. Those are the ones for sure. And Seelovs, I think, will be our goalie after Martin leaves, after a couple of years. So I don't think any of the guys playing tonight, Carol, will make the team this upcoming season. Maybe a guy like Linus Karlsson could be a call-up from Abbotsford, but I think we're at least a year away for some of those guys for sure. Jason says, Clay, check your phone. I messaged you about your audio and some ticket stuff. Oh, yeah, it's always tricky to read these while I'm streaming, but because it's my lead sponsor. Yeah, got that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No problem, Jay. Thank you. Zhao, how many takes for the Costco Glide? How'd you find out during the film? Believe it or not, that was my first take. That was one take. I'm a one-take wonder, except for when my audio is glitching. So I just made sure that, and this was a Costco in Seattle, so not as busy as Richmond for sure. And I just made sure that, that we had an open spot. I asked Gail to record from one of the aisles, and I waited for an opening. I said, go, and then I just slid across, and boom, we were done. Truth be told, that was the first take, and that's the one I used. I then recorded one take in slow motion, but in slow motion, it looks like I'm simply walking forward. So when you see it in real time, hopefully you watch enough where you actually see the glide. I actually come off I don't know if I come off the ground a little bit, but it's a true glide, a slide. It's like a forward moonwalk. I was very impressed with myself, if I may say so myself. Harry says, what are your thoughts on Daniella Klimovich? Oh yeah, he's got a wicked shot. He tailed off a little bit at the end of last season, but I think he could be maybe one season away. I'm not sure if we see him this season, but I think he could be ready to go next season for sure. No samples today, Tristan. We were on a mission. Steve, who would you give up for Ethan Bear? I'd go Dickinson 1-for-1. I don't know if they would do that though. Preseason starts on Sunday, Shannon. The Young Stars is separate from preseason. Young Stars are all guys that likely won't make the team this year. Preseason is the main roster guys. Klimovich stood out for me today. Nielsen stood out for me. Karlsson stood out for me. And the two goalies have stood out for me. No, Brian, I have not seen the Lego Rocks video about Austin Matthews. Tell me about it. Jasker and Jet Wu potentially being a surprise third pairing. No, I don't think he's good enough to beat out anyone that's on our roster right now. Bain's going to make the team. I think it'll be a call-up option. Fango, do you think the Canucks announced the radio rights 24 to 40 hours before preseason? That is cutting it close. So maybe we hear something this week prior to Sunday, but that's a good point, Fangirl. Tristan, do I get recognized in Seattle? No. But do I get recognized in Costco? Yes. In Costco Richmond, yes. Harry, what are your thoughts on Tristan Nielsen's playing style? Actually, I've only seen the two highlights. So I haven't watched him play. So Harry, I unfortunately can't give you a fair breakdown or even a comparable for him because I have not watched him a lot. I would just be making it up for sure. Adam says, Matthews playing and singing in LA. Okay, that's fine. Steve says, that's Dickinson probably not happening. Would you trade him if it was for Hoglander? I don't know. I want to see one. I don't want to give up on Hoglander just yet. I know you have to give away. You have to trade quality to get quality. But I don't know if I would give up on Hoglander just yet. Hey, Chonger, nice to see you. Keep up the good work. Been listening on Spotify. That's awesome. I appreciate it. So Chonger is one person who actually listens to the podcast more than watches these streams. I appreciate that. That was kind of the thought of going to podcasts as well, is to make it more readily available. By the way, in the chat, I would love to know if you, obviously you guys are here tonight because you're in the chat or you're watching the video, but how many of you actually listen to the podcast as well? Either for a double dose or because you sometimes miss the video stream. I'm just curious if any of you actually listen to the podcast as well. And if you don't, that's completely fine. I'm just curious. Thank you for that. Shopping Moonwalk. You got it, Zhao. Hoglander for Priorvi. I would do that, Truman. Jason, yes, they have a lot of options for their lines for sure. Would I trade Bo for a right-handed pro defense and a second round? If the right shot D was a first pairing guy, yes, absolutely yes. If it was a second pairing guy, I would really think about it. DSS, when are they going to sign Horvat? Could be in the next 2 weeks. It could be later in the season. No, Edmund, I didn't watch any NFL because I was traveling all day, but I know of the scores. I know I won my fantasy matchup thanks to Cooper Kupp and to Mark Andrews. And are you on Amazon Music too? No, I'm not. I'm not on Amazon Music. Garland still has another 4 years, I believe, Harry, because he signed a 5-year. I'm just checking. Yes, Garland has 4 more years at 4.95. Canucks do not need to extend him yet because he's got 4 more years. Hey, Ricky. Yes, we mentioned Ethan Bear a bit earlier. I would be interested in him for sure. So Tristan actually listens to the podcast. Thank you. DSS, nope. Lucas, nope. Just on YouTube. Adam, listen on Apple. Coach Rob, sometimes in the morning. When do I think a Horvat deal gets done? Fangirl, I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks. Brian watches YouTube. Steve watches YouTube. Shannon says I do sometimes at the beginning of the stream because I get commercials on YouTube. Jasker, and weren't they saying they were so close on a Horvat extension? What they were saying is they were optimistic. That's what they were saying earlier in the summer. Lundqvist wants us trade. Oh, is that the defenseman out of New York? Is it New York? Tristan, if they don't sign Bo, will he still be able to play? Yes. He is under contract for 1 more year at $5.5 million. So he's still under contract for this season. Adam say, I download your podcast for offline listening as I worked. Link, just look up Clay's Canucks commentary. Either on Apple, Spotify, Google. Fangirl, are you looking forward to your predictions with Parker this week? I am. I haven't done any pre-work, any scouting or any research, I should say. Not scouting. I'm not going to go scout players. But I haven't done much research, and I'll likely show in my picks tomorrow night. Truman says, Bear is not a great defender. Uh-oh. But can he skate? DSS, how come our roster seems so long, but not everyone will make the roster? Because every team does that. You want more guys than spots because you want to have battles for the roster. Fair to say, right off DiPietro, yeah, the fact that he's behind Sealoves on the depth chart now, it's unfortunate. Lindsay on YouTube. Ellie Williams, have you seen most of the people at your meetup since that meetup? No. I would say I've seen about half a dozen of them because I see them at games or at a social function. But no, we had about 45 people at my latest meetup. I've probably seen... No, that's wrong because some of the people there were my friends and family, like my church friends. So let's put it this way, of true people that I only met through YouTube, I've seen probably 4 to 6 of those people since. Carol says, YouTube, no problem. Lundqvist apparently won't report to camp. Yikes. What are your thoughts on the Jets reconsidering a new captain? Harry, it's kind of interesting. I don't know how you feel you're Blake Wheeler. I know a lot of his teammates are standing up for him, but they're obviously looking for some sort of culture change there after some not successful seasons. Jason, did Ferland officially retire or will he be Ryan Kessler LTR? Yes, he's not retired because if he retires, then he won't get his money. So he's still active, but he's going to be on LTIR for, I think it's only 1 more year actually, now that I think about it. Michael Ferland, yes, this is the last year at 3.5. Mr. Joker says people are underestimating Hoglander. He is the best player via work ethic. I agree with that. That's why I don't want to give up on him as well. Next Ring of Honor, Alex Edler. That's my guess. Bear is also not a great skater. Oh, great, Truman. So what's he good at? Give us your line predictions, please. I've done this a few times, so I'll go fast. If it were me, I'd go Miller, Garland, Kuzmenko, Petey, Besser, Podkolzin, Horvat, Pearson, Mikheyev, Lazar, Joshua, Hoglander. Dickinson is my 13th forward. Hey, Jamie. Nice to see you. Thank you. Chonger. It's funny. I was speaking to a couple people about this earlier. I haven't planned the meetup, but I will get one done before Christmas. And if we do it at Monkey Nine, we could watch an early Canucks game and then go bowling, which could be an absolute disaster. But that could be a lot of fun, actually. TW says Halak. I'm not sure about that. Edmund, if people meet up with you to talk to you in profanities, do you cringe or prefer people to not use swear words around you? Edmund, I do not cringe. I do not judge. I want people to be people. I want them to be real with me. Now, they usually know that I won't swear back or I won't share the same affinity for swearing, but I'm certainly not going to say, hey, I prefer. Actually, I will say this. If someone is using the Lord's name in vain a lot, then maybe I will say something. I have no problem saying I prefer if you didn't say that. But if it's more like common swear words, I really don't. I don't sweat it too much. Tristan says, I tried to upgrade my membership, but it said that purchase went through, but it didn't upgrade. What do I do? Well, it can't take your money and then not upgrade you. So check your credit card first, statement first, and then we can chat. The whole escrow insurance situation in the NHL is nothing like the other leagues. Yes, I've heard that too. I still don't understand it. Harry, what would be our sponsorship be this upcoming season, and what are your thoughts on it? You mean who's going to be on the jersey? I don't know. Have they actually said? Something just fell. Uh-oh. What's that? Oh, something fell, and then I'm going to have to look for it. Do we know who's going to be our jersey sponsor this year? Is it going to be TD? Canucks could trade Ferlin. Interesting. Best suited is a 6'7" D-man. Okay, so third pairing right shot guy. Am I glad Benning and Green were fired? I don't think glad's the right word. You never really like to see someone lose their job, but for the team, it was obviously a good thing. For sure. Hughes to the left or the right. Dingbat, I've been talking about that a lot. And I see merits to both. I talked about that at the start of this stream. I think I keep him on the left and move OEL to the right. Jaskrin, the second nicest thing you've ever said to me, my lineup would be Clay, 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 followed by a second line of Clay, 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 then a grinding line of Clay, 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 and then the fourth line of Clay, Clay, Clay. You're going to have a very slow team. Johnny, I have a hard time believing you never tried weed. Well, no, you're welcome to ask me that, and I'll tell you very honestly, yes, I have not tried it. Or I better say this right. No, I have not tried it before. TD or Rogers are main sponsors. Wouldn't surprise me. That's kind of how it goes around here, for sure. Oh, I'd have to do a little bit better on my YouTube channel if I was going to be the sponsor. Thanks, Coach Rob, though. Lucas, thank you for the donation. Let's give Lucas some love. I haven't heard anything regarding jersey partner, but if I was a betting man, I'd like to see Lyft. That's right. The Aquilinis have been linked to Lyft as well. Great point, Lucas. And thanks again for the donation. Zal, you think the flat cap situation this offseason will cause the NHLPA to push hard to get out of the salary cap for the next CBA negotiation? I think we'll have to see what happens when the cap goes up. But that's a good point, too. Sebastian, hey, Clay, what % chance do you think the Canucks have of landing third in the Pacific? I like it. That's what I've been predicting all along. What team do the Canucks match up against the best? Anyone not named Edmonton or Calgary. Although I think we match up against, I don't know, we play Edmonton and Calgary out. I just remember that 7-1 thrashing of the Flames. But so maybe if I had to choose, there's a lot more storylines against Calgary than Edmonton. Jaskran would hire me as his agent. Okay, you make the NHL, I'll be your agent. I'll work for pretty cheap. I promise. And lastly, Johnny Canuck, Jim Rutherford and the Canucks made all these signings in every department, but they still need to hire Canuck Clay for an ambassador fan role. I think I would do an awesome job as a brand ambassador for the Canucks. I really do. It sounds like I'm showing off, but it's true. As long as they don't make me do anything technical, obviously. But yeah, I think I can get people excited about what I'm excited about. I'm excited about the Canucks, and I want other people to get excited about the Canucks as well. My friends, I need to move on now. So I will do this wrap up to the podcast part first, and then you are welcome to stick around to play the games of Ordle, Gordle, and Wordle. So as I wrap up this part, I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank the moderators for doing such a good job. I want to thank my sponsors, my lead sponsor, Van CD Experts, Real Estate, and Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. And I want to thank members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang. All three of them are in here. And of course, Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. Thanks to all of you. And most importantly, whether you're a member or not, a subscriber or not, thanks to everyone who joined me tonight, who were patient to sit through the technical issues. I assure you that, well, I can't promise they're never going to happen again, but I'll do my best to make sure that those don't happen again, properly test everything. But we made it this far, and we're still all friends, and I appreciate you. So on your way out, make sure you like the video, like the fact that we made it to the end. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Consider becoming a member. Thank you to everyone who left donations as well today. I really appreciate you, and thank you for supporting me on this channel. Tomorrow, Canucks After Dark, Parker and me at 10 p.m. and then back here, CCC Live at 11 p.m. So no matter if you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, thank you. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. As always, don't forget, you can stick around, but I'm just going to do the formal ending to my podcast. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And another reason why I was late today is a book just fell on top of my head. But I only have my shelf to bring. Oh, I messed that up too. This is the worst podcast ever. Let's do it again. A book just fell on my head, but I only have my shelf to blame. That's what I tried to say. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah. I will cut the podcast there. I will admit, this has been the roughest of my 5 shows. I guess this is my 6th show. But we're still having fun, aren't we? And we're still here. And I appreciate all of you. It just shows that I've never purported to be perfect. I've never claimed that I was perfect. And if there's a true definition of the complete opposite of perfect, that would be me today. Tubby came in just in time to hear the outro. Well, Tubby, just because you're here, I think you should see the intro one more time and hear your wonderful music behind it. So this is Tubby. Tubby is the producer of my wonderful music. He provided it to me. So let's hear it. Let's hear it behind Bruce Boudreau.
This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Oh, Tubby, I love that music. Thank you. I'm actually singing it. I'll be walking around work. I don't make that stupid face. Actually, I probably do walking around work like that. So, Tubby, thanks very much for taking care of me that way. You are the absolute best. And yes, you gave me that music. You can come to the stream anytime you want. The first 15 seconds, the last 15 seconds, and any time in between. Now, I think it's time to get to our games. So if you played, we only play these once a week now, but if you played these games, please, please, please do not spoil it for the rest of us. We like to have fun. We like to actually try to win these legitly. So please, please, please try. Don't give it away. But actually, before we do that, I want to show you, my friends, for anyone who didn't see it, I want to show you my Costco glide because I think it's a thing of beauty. Okay. Oh my. It has 1,800 views on Twitter, which is ridiculous. Okay. Oh, I just did it. Boom. Dang it. Well, I'll just add it to the imperfect stream. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I want to show you. So this is what I call the Costco glide. And I'll show it to you a couple times because it is so good that you guys, I'm sure you want to see it over and over. Here we go. You guys see that? I know. Don't blink. Watch it one more time. Watch the coordination in my feet. Look at that. I'll even show you. I'll even point to it. And I'll show you one more time. So if you actually slow it down, I'm actually gliding a little bit. I'm not just walking. So thank you for indulging me there. I thought that was pretty cool. Yes, Clay Jackson. Let's get a guess. Let's play some Ordle. Who do you think this is? Who is this? Jason just unscribed. I don't think it's Petey, Fangirl. Although I always love your guess. Oh, I typed in Suzuki in the chat. Okay, no, we should go in order. She was first. He just looks a little bit too big to be Petey. Oh, so it is a center in the Eastern Conference. So then someone did say Nick Suzuki. So we have now narrowed down to a center in the Eastern Conference, but it's got to be a Metro, someone from the Metro division. That's who it's got to be. Someone from the Metro, not the Atlantic division. But we also found out that it's got to be younger than 23 years old. So that was a really good guess, actually. So we're looking for a center from the Metro who's Canadian, who's under 23 years old. So the Metro, that's the Rangers, the Islanders, the Devils, Pittsburgh, Philly, Washington. Is that right? And Carolina, Columbus? So again, we're looking for someone who's younger than 23 years old, a Canadian center who plays in the Metro. I think Barzell's older than 23 now. I'll put him in, but I think Barzell's older than 23 because he's the same age as Besser. And in left shot, but I don't know a lot of left shot, right shot. Connor McMichael, that's a good one. Very good. Taylor is so good at this game. Taylor is really good at the game. Yeah, Connor McMichael plays for the Washington Capitals. And there he is. He's a 21-year-old left-handed center. Nicely done. Let's give some love to Taylor in the chat. Taylor is very good at this game. And the thing is, with Taylor, I'm convinced, I know for a fact, Taylor doesn't cheat because Taylor's not like that. Let's move on to Gordle. I'll take the first 6-letter name that I see in the chat. 6-letter name. Jaskrin comes in with Ryan Reeves. You see how fast I typed that? That was with my left hand. That was quite impressive, actually. Although the R, E, and the A, and the V, E, and the S, they're all on the same side of the keyboard. But yes, that was pretty fast of me, I thought. Decent guess. We got the E, A, and the S. So I'll take the next guess I see that has an E, A, and an S, but not in those spots. Actually, Biexa does work. Duck fan. Because there's an E, A, N. So we got the E right. Oh. And Chonger comes in with Shiri, which would actually work in our... Great guess, Chonger. So now I am looking, although we still only have 3 letters, we know it starts with an S. That's huge. We know the second letter is an E. Sorry, the third letter. And then we know there's an A somewhere. I don't think the second letter, I don't think there's a guy whose name starts with that. So something S, something E. No, cider wouldn't fit Tyson. It's S something E something. And honestly, because the A I don't think is going to go there, I think it's something something E, for instance. And then we know the A is not here and the A is not here. So we know the A is actually in this 5th spot. And this would fit the bill. Chonger, nice job. Taylor Betts is strong. Is it Taylor Betts? No. Yes. Chonger is strong. Chonger says, I'm a genius. I wouldn't doubt that. Nicely done. How are we doing in this one? What are our stats like? Oh, no, that's settings. Stats. Look at us. 56 for 56. Let's go. Wordle. One more. Sidhu comes in with Stepan, which is great. It's correct, but I think you're just a tiny bit behind, which is no problem. Fangirl comes in with Royal. Interesting word. And we got skunked. Okay, I'll take another word that has none of those letters. So we got to get some vowels. They're an E, an I, or a U. Can't be songs because an O. I need a word that doesn't have any of these letters. Can't be skate because it has an A. Steps. Not always a fan of the double letter, but we'll see. I mean, that was an awesome guess, Taylor. So we know it starts with ST, and we don't know any other letters. Can't be Stoke, Tyson, because there can't be an O or an E in it. It's got to start with ST. We know that. Can't be still because the L. It can be stink. Oh, very good. Who is that? Mialza comes in. So we know it's STI something K. Well, it can only be, I think, one. I'm just waiting for someone to type it. I know what it is. I think it is. I think it's very appropriate. Yes. For a hockey podcast show. There we go. You guys, once again, showing how smart we are. We got it with stick. Awesome. You just saw my behind the scenes a little bit there too as well. Okay, friends. I think we did a pretty good job tonight. I'm going to wrap it here because I do have a bit of work, bit of preparation. I have about an hour and a half of work to do, and then I have to hit the sack and get ready to volunteer at the Jake Milford. So thank you everyone for being here. I know tonight was a little bit of a goofy one, and it wasn't like I was stressed or rushed. I just didn't have the best show today, but it's okay. By far, this was the roughest one out of them all, but I've also had some good ones. So I will chalk this up to a learning experience for sure. Again, no one's perfect, especially me. And I'm grateful that you get to see me. Always the good, the bad, and the ugly. So any last thoughts you want to put in the chat before I wrap up? Got some nice, encouraging messages in there. Just looking at one other thing. Stay for the game. Thanks for a great night. Make fun of my dad in Edmonton. Yes, tomorrow will be the final day of Young Stars for sure, Shannon. And I hope that I hope that we are bragging about. I just read like a comment from 15 minutes ago. But yeah, the Canucks play against the Edmonton Oilers to finish off the Young Stars tomorrow. We will see if they go 3-0. And then again, it's not necessarily saying that just because they go 3-0 Young Stars doesn't mean that they're gonna have an awesome season. But you, in any type of competition, especially with their team, you'd rather do well than start off well, rather than start off poorly. Last couple things. Andrew says, I guess I won't be singing the same goal song anymore. Always remember that night. That was probably one of the most fun nights ever. And it sounds like they're trying out 3 different goal songs, one for each of the 3 preseason games at home. So yeah, unfortunately we won't hear Andrew like that. And are the tickets for the home opener $200 each? I don't know about that, but I do know that we're selling ours for the home opener, Harry, if you're interested. I don't think that's what I don't know. I don't have it on. Let me check real quick. And I see some emails from you guys about wanting tickets, which is great. For the home opener, yes, the home opener actually is, depending on where you want to sit. I know I'm selling my home opener seats for $200 up top, for $200 for both of them, but that's in section 319. So once again, if you, I'll just type this in before I go. If you want me to send you the spreadsheet for both sets of my tickets, email me at canuckclay@gmail.com and I will send you something later tonight. Okay? So that's the best way to do it. Harry, email me. Harry, you said you'd love to go to it. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to buy them, right? So Harry, email me if you want mine and let me know. But that's why I sent you the email. Okay, friends, I will wrap up now. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. And I appreciate all of you, moderators, sponsors, members, everyone that was being with me since the very start of the show. And I hope that you join me tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm volunteering at Jake Milford. Then I'm with Parker at 10 p.m. for Canucks After Dark. And then doing my own show tomorrow at 11, hopefully free of technical glitches. So I won't do another bad joke. Because the first one was bad enough and I messed it up. I will reflect on my performance tonight and come back even stronger tomorrow. Okay, now I'm going to go for sure. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I will see you tomorrow night. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.